What is home when the country you've lived in for 50 years doesn't want you? This is our video on the Jamaicans who migrated part 2, where we'll cover the Windrush Scandal as promised for our Out of Many One Diaspora series. Remember the 10-year-old we spoke of in the first video? Well, she spent several decades in UK. She never returned to Jamaica since her mom put her on that ship. Her father worked hard to try to build a life for his family, but he fell ill when his daughter was a teen. She had to take care of them both. Changes happened where the rest of the family couldn't make it to UK. Some of the people they knew, that I mentioned, some of their neighbors boarded the ship with them. They had some family come over to stay in UK. But for her, she was all alone. It was tough for this one daughter and her ill father. She missed her family badly, and her father being sick made life more grey. But she didn't give up, as she remembered her parents' words often, that she is a fighter. She is a survivor. She worked day and night, sometimes several jobs, to continue building the life her dad could not anymore. Soon she had her own family, and her kids had their kids. Before she knew it, time sped up, life happened, and she was in her late 50s, still working. One morning, she got an odd letter. She opened it and saw the word illegal. She nearly fainted. Illegal? What do you mean? The government informed her that she is to return to Jamaica ASAP, as UK was not her home. She came to England on the Windrush, and now they wanted to put her out of the country in a rush. Classic case of, use you and refuse you, because when the war ended, they needed people to work, right? So the Windrush generation happened because they had a labor shortage. Now that things were okay, they passed these such a thing and put them out of the country. So the taxes she paid didn't matter. The work she did had no significance. And the life she built, her children and grandchildren, basically they're saying they just have to do without her. What a scandal, E! The Windrush Scandal. Now I can hear Miss Lou's voice in my head. And she says, "But what kind of cross is this, master? UK kicked me out. After all me contribute, them no want me around. My pickney and grand pickney, them a cry. Say, mama, what you gonna do? Me look pon them and want cry for me mother too." Alright, so I just made that up on the spot for this video. Before we get further into this, let me share the official information of what the Windrush Scandal is. You probably get the gist from what I've said so far, right? So it was a scandal that broke in the 2018, so that's April 2018, where despite living and working in the UK for decades, many were told that they were there illegally because of a lack of official paperwork. So they didn't really have the paperwork. They had landed papers, and the Home Office kept no record of those granted leave to remain and issued no paperwork, making it difficult for the Windrush arrivals to prove their legal status. So those landing cards, they destroyed them in 2010. So the Windrush migrants, they had nothing to prove, that we did there. and we belong here and we're here legally. So because they came from British colonies that were not independent, they believed they were British citizens. Because Jamaica was once a colony of Britain, and so they believed, okay, we're British citizens. Totally understandable. Let's read a little bit further about the scandal. So, the Windrush Scandal, it was a British political scandal, and as I said, began in 2018. So, people were wrongfully detained, denied legal rights, threatened with deportation, and in at least 83 cases, wrongfully deported from the UK by the Home Office. Many of those affected have been born British subjects and had arrived in the UK before 1973. It's mainly from the Caribbean countries, as members of the Windrush generation. Alright, so I'm just checking with you. How are you doing so far? Is the information clear to you? Let me know in the comments. Always looking forward to learning from you. Alright, let's go a little bit further on this scandal. So no, all those who were deported, um, so some were deported and an unknown number were detained, so they locked them up. They lost their jobs or homes, had their passports taken, or were denied benefits or medical care to which they were entitled. A number of long-term UK residents were refused re-entry to the UK. A larger number were threatened with immediate deportation by the Home Office. Linked by the commentators to the hostile environment policies instituted by Theresa May during her time as Home Secretary. The scandal led to Amber Rudd resigning as Home Secretary in April 2018. The scandal also prompted a wider debate about British immigration policy and Home Office practice. So there's a couple more paragraphs to go. The March 2020 Independent Windrush Lessons Learned Review, conducted by the Inspector of Constabulary, concluded that the Home Office had showed ignorance and thoughtlessness, and that what happened had been foreseeable and avoidable. It further found that immigration regulations were tightened with complete disregard for the Windrush generation, and that officials have made irrational demands for multiple documents to establish residency, that they're legal, they're there, and they have right to be there. Despite a compensation scheme being announced in December 2018, by November 2021, only an estimate of 5% of victims have received any compensation, and 23 of those eligible had died before receiving payments. 3 separate parliamentary committees had issued reports during 2021 criticizing Home Office slowness and ineffectiveness in providing redress to victims and calling for the scheme to be taken out of the hands of the Home Office. Wow. Alright, so we're gonna pause for a little bit, be back soon. Alright, so we're back. Let's continue. A couple minutes to go. So yeah, now that you know all that, you now think of what kind of brain is that? Them freshy? So the 10-year-old turned mama had to leave, and she couldn't take much with her. She was Jamaican bound after calling UK her home for many years. On a plane she went with not even an inch of the life she built in her suitcase. She couldn't say goodbye to the kids. They all cried for her mama stay, but they didn't know that the government wanted mama to go away. Her mind was heavy. She couldn't sleep. The years of her life she slowly built flashed by. Her chest began to hurt her again. The hair hostess asked, "You alright?" She would never be alright again, as she was wrongly deported. She and many Windrush immigrants knew this wasn't right, but they felt powerless. It wasn't something they could fight and have it resolved overnight. The plane landed in a strange new place where the weather was warm. She didn't need the clothes she had on. For her, it has been so long. Her family sent a taxi to pick her up, and all their kids, and grandkids, she greeted them. She hugged all of them, and then she went to visit her mama's grave. "I'm home now, mama," she said. Alright, guys, so that's it. I personally want to big up Paulette Wilson for sharing her story of being one of the Windrush immigrants. She was actively fighting against this inhumane policies, fighting for others to be given the rights that they deserve. And sadly, she passed away in 2022. So let's big up Paulette Wilson. Look her up, big up our children, big her up, and I'm hoping she will continue to inspire many. She definitely inspired me. So now that I'm concluding this Windrush video, there's something I want to say about Mama. So she represents the loved ones many immigrants never get to see again. It is just one sacrifice people who migrate from Jamaica and migration overall make in hope of building a better life. I've heard this too many times of kids never seeing their parents again and vice versa. It is one of the most heartbreaking things to know that you have to leave your country of birth to make a life, a better life, in another country, never seeing some of your loved ones again. I won't go on and on. As you see, this Windrush scandal has ill effects and was wrong. So I would love to hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this? So that's it. Do your normal thing, like, subscribe, share. Talk about the Windrush scandal, as it's still affecting many today. And let's get the conversation going so that change can happen, because no human should be treated like that. Alright, so that's it for now. I want to big up Paulette Wilson again. And thank you, viewers, for watching. We'll chat again soon. Take care of yourself and each other. And stay blessed always. Until next time.